Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Today I want to tell you why nobody cares about you and why that's a good thing in the hiring process. Okay, I have hired thousands of people throughout my career, and this is a constant truth that when you are in the job search process and you're applying to a job, nobody cares about you. The only thing the hiring manager cares about is, can the person we're hiring do the job? Can maybe they do the next level job? Are they promotable? And how much do they want to make? That's it. So on your resume, you should be showing the answers to those questions. If in your background you had a bad experience 17 years ago where you just had a poor experience with an employer and it's a very emotional story, guess what? Nobody cares. Now, I'm not saying you should never tell that story in the interview process, but you should wait. You shouldn't just lead with that story, because your job during the interview process on the very beginning is to build a relationship out of nothing, is to get the person to care. Because at first they don't. They just want to make sure you're going to show up on time, can you do the job, and how much do you want to make? Now, throughout the interview process, you want to build a relationship. You want to make them care. But I can't tell you how liberating those words have been for many of my clients, whether they're resume clients who I'm partnering with to work on their resumes, or whether it's mock interview clients. Because as we do the mock interview, they start telling me this emotional story, and then they get caught up in the emotion, and we start working on reframing that story so it's not so emotional for them. But realize that when you're interviewing, realize that in the job search process. There's very few things that the hiring manager actually cares about. And if you can be aware of those social cues when they're talking, that's going to be great. Now, throughout the hiring process, once you're interviewing with them, and let's just say you're now deep in the interview process, you're 2 or 3 interviews into it, now is the appropriate time to bring up concerns you have about the job, but not on the front end. Also on the front end, make sure that you're very agreeable. And I don't mean agreeable as in ethical issues and you have issues and you're just going to ignore those issues. No, what I mean by that is if I tell you that I have a spot on Wednesday at 2 p.m. for an interview or a spot on Thursday at 9 a.m. for an interview, don't come back to me and say neither one of those work because you have a hair appointment. Don't come back to me and tell me you can't make either of those and some other excuse. If you are not going to show that this job is a priority for you, we're not going to prioritize you in the hiring process. You're going to prioritize yourself out because obviously something else was more important. I know life happens and I get it, but you know what? Nobody cares. We care about hiring somebody, and if you can't make a simple interview work, how are you going to make a 40-hour-a-week job work? So realize that. You are sending a message every step of the way in the process. Now, when you get towards the end and you have an issue, let's just say you're a single mom and you have 3 kids at home and you have to have a work-life balance and you finally made it to the end and you have to figure out a way to talk about a work-life balance. How do you do that? Well, you look at what the job requires. You look at what the job is doing. Perhaps there's a system upgrade happening in 6 months. And you can say something that you want to create the solution with the question. So you're going to say something like, I see we're doing a system upgrade in 3, 4, 5 months. When we did this at my previous company, we were 6 months behind schedule and we didn't have enough resources to get it done on time. How are you guys set up correctly to do it here? Now you're already starting now to talk a little bit about work-life balance without really talking about work-life balance, but it's going to give you an indication as to how the company approaches those types of situations, or how the resources are stretched thin, or whatever the case may be. And let's be honest, right now most resources are stretched thin because we're in the middle of a pandemic where we don't have a lot of money just to spend on extra salaries and extra people. So again, you got to be a little flexible right now. But realize you can ask questions in that way. You can also, for example, I've been in several roles where I'm leading a team, right? And perhaps in certain roles, I didn't have the authority to make the changes I needed to make, but I was given the expectation, or my department was given expectations to make these huge improvements. But if you can't change things, then how are you going to make improvements? Because you can't do anything. So you have to ask questions. Say, hey, look, I know you want to hit these 4 or 5 goals for 2021. Is this role going to have the authority to be able to make the changes required to get to those goals? Because if not, I don't see that happening. Again, you want to build trust, you want to build a relationship, but you want to show you come from a place of knowledge. So I hope that helps everybody. Again, remember on Wednesday, 10 a.m., LinkedIn Live, we do a 30-minute show. We'll be doing a market overview this week, talking a little bit about where the jobs numbers are and things like that. And we'll always be doing Q&A at the end. And then also on Thursday at 2 p.m., all times are Central Standard, we'll be doing a Q&A as well. So I hope to see you guys there. I look forward to answering any of your questions along the way. And remember, if you know anybody who's looking for a job, needs resume help, needs help doing mock interviews, connect them with me so I can show them how to get the job. Take care. See you next time. Bye.